this will be a shorter viewer level session than usual today due to the unexpectedly late start. We'll begin it with a warm-up level. This is from Lupin Snoop, who has been a regular lately and who has been submitting a few levels, and so we'll look at one of Lupin Snoop's first levels from after the 3.0 patch. Merlin, welcome. Glad to see you. Yeah, we have a bit of a late start today, but I will be doing some additional sessions to make up for that over the week, and our viewer level schedule has been a little bit off from usual today, so I would be very happy to see more of your levels right after I do the introductory one here. So the queue is open, feel free to add. So yeah, Lupin Snoop, this is the first level from after the 3.0 patch, I think, and that's Wendy's Circus, where Mario agreed to help Wendy with her main act, a plumber on hoops. No Z button, but by the looks of it, I think this is SMB3 style anyway, so I don't see why that makes a difference. We'll see in a moment. Okay, so... Oh, I see. So it says no Z because you should never be hopping out of the shell. I wonder if that is somehow enforced. But we'll see, because, I mean, it looks like, you know, this thing very prominently says never jump out of the shell, but I'm just going to jump out of the shell and grab the 50 coin, because that's the way to do it. So I wonder if that's just sort of a self-imposed challenge? No, it isn't actually, because that is enforced by the Munchers directly under the door. So yeah, it's basically warning you in advance, you have to survive with the shell in all circumstances. Yeah, go ahead and add your maker ID, Merlin. I would be I can't speak today. I would be glad to see a few more of yours. I think we were in the middle of your world last time. I won't be spending as much time on worlds this session simply because, you know, I started late and we have a bit of a shorter session, but I know how difficult yours are and I think I can get through several of them. So I'll look at your maker ID and I will decide accordingly. Hey, Muds, welcome. Thank you for Dangerous and Desert Deed. And we'll get through here. Okay, and I guess we'll have to drop in there and follow the marker. Okay. Very gentle reset point. Hyperion Smokestack, welcome. Yeah, we had a bit of a late, irregular start today, but we are here and we'll be doing a few more viewer level sessions over the week. Did not expect that, okay. Oh, interesting that you have a key door there that will be dependent on some kind of on-off activation that I don't think I've seen yet. So yeah, short session today. I may do one in the late night slot tonight afterwards, depending on how things go. As I also haven't done the late session yet this week, and I usually do that on Mondays, but our schedule has had to go through a few changes, and I will probably post more specifically what those changes will be as we get into June and we see a little more of what's going on. There we go. Did see that before. But yeah, basically my streaming schedule was originally designed back in January and February before the lockdown, and the things that have changed since have basically made it less of a practical schedule than it used to be, and so I'll be making some adjustments. But I'll keep all of you folks posted and make sure I still get times that are good for my existing regulars. And, oh no, I had to fall to the left on the coin trail there. Yeah. Very generous retry spots all over this level, though. You can definitely see why the clear rate is nearly 10%. Okay, so once again, over. And no, we still need to hit the switch because it does reset. Or rather, it does require us to get to the next segment in the off position. We'll hit the switch, and then we will wrap around to the left side. deflect. There we go. Finally. There is a key spot here. Oh, I see. Like that. And it is a required key to get through the door. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. Yeah, it's pretty interesting because it is a level designed around enforcing the fact that you can never do to jump out of the shell. Which is why you have the muncher gates behind every door. Whoa. And it's quite gentle about actually teaching the concept. As you can see. Like, not a lot of threats here that will actually kill you. A lot of things that can go wrong when it comes to actually reading the pattern, though. So here we go, here's another muncher gate. And then a shell refresh. I wonder about a shell refresh, in fact. I wonder if I should check the pipes. But yeah, I'll only be running for about 2 hours today. I hope that leaves me enough time to get through my usual commitment to see everybody's levels if they are in the queue by closing. But we'll see how that goes. That's why I'm kind of preferring easier levels today, and not doing any super hard grinds. Although if I am sent something hard that is interesting, I'll be glad to continue it over multiple sessions, as I typically do. So what are we to do off this bounce? I mean, there is a very clearly marked bounce spot there. I just wasn't paying attention to what we are doing. Okay. Whoops. Keep clipping through the balls as they hit. Yeah, after they hit the pipe, I can't actually do much there. Okay, here's Lemmy and Wendy now, teaming up on us. This is a really interesting setup. Oh. Wendy, of course, can damage you, while Lemmy cannot, and so it's a little bit of a risk assessment as you... There we go. Oh, I'm glad you enjoyed the feedback. Oh, whoops. Back in here. And I'm going to need a couple more attempts on this, I think. Ah, there we go. Over to Muncher Gate we go, and here's more Wendy. And just barely over. Oh, we got shot. Where do I grab another shell? Let's get reset door. Yeah, I know what naked pipes are. Maybe a bit of a thing in this level. At least they're reasonably consistent. And, you know, the way the green and the yellow join up are fine. But yeah, if you look at this whole level, it seems like it was designed sort of around a self-imposed constraint to not use any ground blocks. It looks like Wendy did not spawn properly up in the top door. There we go. I think we just despawned her accidentally earlier. Whoops. Okay. Yeah, it really did look like Loop and Snoop, who created this level, challenged themselves to just use pipes everywhere. You do see some ground blocks around the corner there, but... Okay, there we go. I see how this works. No. You're not allowed to jump out like that. So we'll have to go back and hopefully grab a shell again. Let's reset. Hope we didn't break anything too much. There we go. Yeah, nice little boss sequences after a fashion. Okay, there we go. The pipes just blocked projectiles like that, and here we are. Okay, so let's get to the cube right away. Thank you for the GGs. And yeah, I mean, you know, usually as soon as we see naked pipes like that, we just kind of recoil, but I think it actually works well on that level because the aesthetic is actually quite consistent the whole way through. You kind of get used to that. And There's a lot of visual clarity, I think, from the alternating colors that you wouldn't necessarily get if you were just using ground everywhere. Very unique look. So let's punch in the level from Muds, and once again I am glad that you appreciate the style of feedback that we do on this channel, because I do try to make this much more of a maker-oriented channel when it comes to testing. So here is a dangerous desert indeed, 1.5%. Explore the mysterious pyramid and find the treasure of the Koopa Pharaohs. And we see from the tag that we should expect a boss battle, so let's see how we do. Okay, so... oh, there's a 1-up spot already. Nice little bonus. Have these little goom rats on the side. Okay, so there's one up there. And some coins that would matter a lot more, I think, if we were doing this in Endless. Now, this is a spin jump location. And I recently replayed Super Mario World, and there's something different about how the Pokies behave. I remember doing some kind of a spin jump or trying to do some kind of collision on them and having it work very unexpectedly, because I played so much Super Mario Maker that I did not remember how the Pokies originally worked, and it's actually not quite the same. Okay, so it's going to be a straight drop? No, we don't need to drop. I don't think we need the blue track or anything, do we? Oh, except there was a little bit of a spot down here to the pipes. Yeah, bonus spot here. Looks rather interesting, actually. I am kind of tempted to try it, because we know... oh, look at the bullet. It's so cute. The bullet hanging on its side like that. That's adorable. It's adorable, but it will also preclude us from going to that bonus spot under the chops. So, dodge some of this. Looks like it's going to be a P-switch timer that gets rid of Piranha. Robin, welcome back. Thank you for Colorful Castle. Oh yeah, Merlin. Okay, so Merlin, if you needed to re-upload your whole world, I think rather than starting from World 1 again, since we've seen that on stream already, I'll probably get straight to one of the individual levels in World 2, but I will look at your Maker ID when it's your turn, and I'll just make a decision about that. I think at some point when you're really happy with the complete world, I'll want to run the whole thing anyway. But for now, we can do individual levels while we're still working on things. So I will just go to your list later and see what we haven't played, because I think I only got through World 1 anyhow. Okay, we got that one up already last time. Let's move on. Whoops. Hang on. Let me get rid of the spam. It seems like we have a new series of bots here that's been coming up recently. The... yeah. Just a minute. There we go. If you want to become famous, there are far better ways to do it. I mean, this is maybe not the business you should be in. But yeah, I don't really see the point of botting viewers. I mean, if you are just botting viewers, all your viewers will be bots. And that's no fun. Okay, so let's do this encounter again. It looks like we will have to wait for a P-switch timer of some sort. Let's actually spin jump as well. It'll give us a little bit of safety over that. Yeah, there we go, spin jump. And P-switch timer. Let the P-switch expire and we can go on. Yeah, a little bit of a waiting zone here. I think in some ways... Oh, well, oh shoot. That was terrible of me. I'm personally fine with it. I do know that some people are really sort of against any kind of waiting in levels because some players are very impatient. And I'll go back to this segment and I'll talk a little more about that in terms of how to make those gates snappy. I'm okay with it, though. I have no problem with that. Okay, let's up here. We actually still haven't done the little chomp segment down below. Why don't we take a look at that? Yeah, it's just coins, but we can try to enter the pipes, or the bottom pipe if we are not slapped by the bullet. I think it's probably just coins, though. Oh. That isn't necessarily how I do it, actually. I'll point it out when I get back to that segment. Because what you can do with the P-blocks is... like, you don't actually need the whole column, although it looks nice to have the whole column. You only need one intersection with the bullet blaster to destroy it using just the collision between a block and the blaster. Okay. That little thing could have gone very wrong. Okay, nothing there. Let's go back. Yeah, I'll try to survive this segment first, and then I'll, whoa, that's dangerous. Felt like I was a little bit lucky with the timing there, but... okay. Yeah, so for example, if you only put the P block on the top tile where it kills the piranha and the bottom tile where it just kills the blaster, you can let the player go through immediately. Unless there's some reason that you need the P-switch state to be reset. Whoops. It's accidentally clinging onto that. Unless there's some reason that you need the P-switch state to be reset before you get to the next segment. I mean, I know it looks nice to have the whole E column kind of the way it is right now. And so, like I said, I don't think it's a problem. I know that some people get very twitchy and impatient. And it's just a difference in people's playstyles. I think this spot up here with the top claw, like I narrowly dodged it last time. Whoops. I very narrowly dodged that top spot last time, but, or the second last time now, but it definitely feels like the timing on that is a little out of my control as the player in terms of, you know, like everybody's going to come into that and have a little bit of a different timing in terms of when they choose to swing on the claw, right? And so I think it is a little bit easy to get hit. Like, you see how I kind of narrowly missed that there? Ah, and a cute bullet. Cute bullet. But let's do this again. And let's see how it goes. Okay. I'll wait for the P-switch. The length of this encounter actually feels pretty good. I like the length. But yeah, basically, if you just had the bottom block and the top block, then the player could get right through, as long as they don't run into the burner, that is. But I mean, I totally see what you're doing in terms of wanting them to collect the coins on their way up here. And indeed through here. On-off switch would take you through directly to the skull room, but I'm going to check this side first. And that actually gives us a whole bunch of clues. There's a little bonus room. And in fact, actually, I mean, you know, you don't have to change this level or anything. It's just some ideas for future levels that are like this. But for example, if you think about what would have happened if you let the player run through while the P-switch is still active, right? Like, some players, they'd want to be quick, and this would actually still be blocked, and they would just kind of go through the door. But if they waited for the P-switch to expire, then they see the whole bonus segment through here. It is totally fine as it is, though. Like, it's not a issue, really. So, you see some key doors there, you see an exit pipe. It looks like we will be back inside the pyramid later for a boom boom fight under the cannons. But for now, let's get in and see... oh, okay, in the pyramid right away. That timing's not going to work out for us at all. Whoops. Oh, you have to take off. Okay, that's alright, Merlin. We will continue yours at another time. Yeah. Okay, I have to find a better timing here and not bump our heads too much. There we go. Let the piranhas fire once. The one-way panel actually saved us there. Oh, whoops. Totally did not see the burner. Yeah, in terms of the coins, I actually like it the way it is now. In terms of having the big bonus segment off to the side instead. Because if you cover the pyramid coins, remember that, you know, people will collect them the first time to get to the checkpoint. After they get to the checkpoint, like, they're not going to repeat that, and so you would just have tons of coins on screen. And so the way the coins outline the pyramid now, I think, is actually quite nice. I like the way it looks. Failing very miserably on this segment. It's fairly straightforward, I'm just not being careful. Okay, let's drop in. Let's actually try to take this a little more quickly. I think that's probably better than trying to be too patient. Okay, let's try to get out of the way of the cannons that were on the far left side, because they would have caused tons of issues. Try to fight Boom Boom in the corner here, I think. Probably best. There we go. Mushroom, and we haven't seen checkpoint 2 yet. So I would assume there is something going on with that. Yeah. No checkpoint yet, but there are bosses, and so we'll grab placement mushroom. And then... Whoop. Got one hit so far. Yeah, I actually do like this boss room. It's, may give us trouble in a moment. Yeah, there we go. I keep forgetting to plan around just how long the Koopalings stay in their shell form. It's always a little longer than I expect. But that's just me getting used to Koopalings. It's something that I'll learn with time. Nobody boots Boom Boom in a corner. Yeah, yeah. In case anybody wants to build a dirty dancing level. But okay. Just go moderately fast past this burner. Yeah, this spike ball was not actually a threat, so pop him once. Oh, get out of the way. And Boom Boom's gonna do his little forward hop. It's gonna cause all kinds of problems. Whoops. Oh, that was close. There we go. Yeah, I'm not used to the Koopaling shell phases in general yet. I feel like Larry actually has a slightly longer one than the other one Koopalings, but I don't know if that's a difference that is always observed. Like, I remember kind of thinking about that when I was playing somebody else's Koopaling boss rush. And I don't know if that's always the case. But I definitely underestimate how long he stays in that. Okay, so no checkpoint in Subworlds yet, but that's okay. This looks like some kind of a survival timer, I think, because you would have to nuke them with a P-switch, and so I'd have to wait for a P-switch to drop. But yeah, so I guess, yeah, after you enter the pyramid, it does become a bit of a boss rush level, and that's fine. I like boss rushes around here. Hyperion, yours was one of the Koopaling boss rushes where I remember thinking that about the Larry fight, because like yours is the one that opens with the Larry fight, right, with the Mecha Koopas that I cheesed. And yeah, he just stays in the shell phase for such a long time. It's okay, I mean, I haven't seen the pacing after CP2 yet, so I don't really know how that's going to go. I can see that as being responsible for the lowish clear rate, though, because like a lot of this stuff, like the actual content does not feel like it's going to be, you know, 1% hard. But then the checkpoint placement would be what makes it sort of 1% hard, you know? And that's fine, it's just a matter of tuning. I feel like, you know, some of the earlier fights I can play quite a bit cleaner anyway. Like, breaking it 2 and 2 is probably not too bad. But yeah, it's kind of true that I think when people change subworlds sometimes, especially after a segment like this segment here, they would expect a checkpoint after that. But then, of course, like when you're seeing this for the first time, you wouldn't have any idea how much more of the level to expect, right? Like, depending on how the last fights go, maybe it'll feel okay. Like, the way to work around that would actually just be with more generous power-up spawns, I think. But then I was consuming the power-ups probably too aggressively on the Bullet Bull Larry room anyhow, so... Because I think a good power-up placement can pretty much feel like a miniature checkpoint anyway, right? Because you kind of erased a mistake that you were making earlier. Oh boy. I did have leftover mush, and I should have taken it, yes. I was, I think, in a bit of a hurry to go on, because at that point, of course, I didn't know how close to the next checkpoint I would be. So I was probably being impatient because of that. Okay. Let's let the cannons fire once more first. Watch that. Yeah, I think in terms of, you know, player psychology, that when people get a key, like, they start to have a little bit of tunnel vision in terms of thinking, okay, I've got to get to the door as soon as possible just to minimize risk. But then, of course, you know, it depends on the level in general and what it has trained them to do. Like, if I know it's a boss rush, then I'm probably more likely to play it safe when it comes to power-ups. Okay, let's get past that burner. Get past cannonballs here. Oh. Okay, let's get into a bit more of a safety zone. Okay, let Boom Boom do his little forward hop. Okay, there we go. Bit of a tight corner there, but we got him. And let's try to... And yeah, I see what you're saying about the timing in terms of going fast, and it's nice when a level lets you do that. Like, it's nice when, you know, finding a fast way to replay something feels safe. But I tend to be, I think, maybe a little bit more cautious than a lot of Mario players, and so I wouldn't necessarily try that. But like, a lot of players would try that just to, you know, find a quick and efficient method of getting back into the fight. Okay, there we go. Just go for a power-up as soon as we spawn into... Oh, no, no powers, okay. We'll just have to be careful about slipping. About fire. Whoa, okay. Okay, let's see how that works. And then that one is just waiting for a P-switch to drop, for sure. Yeah. Like, all the fights individually feel pretty great. Should not be doing that. But yeah, as far as checkpoint placement goes, I can definitely see the case for putting one directly after Boom Boom, simply because it is a bit of a change of pace to go from, you know, kind of platforming, dodging segment to something that is a more concentrated boss segment. But it's hard to make those calls, I think, when you're actually designing the thing, because, you know, the time that you spend replaying content while you are in the maker mode is not going to be the same as the time that players spend progressing on a given segment. And so, like, your sense of what's going to be a long versus a short segment could turn out to be quite a ways off. And that's just something we learn to work with, you know? Okay, let's get the cannons to fire. Yeah, we'll need to survive a second round of that for sure. This is kind of a safe zone here. We should take advantage of that and kill Boom Boom in the middle. Then move him slowly to the right. There we go, and it's nice to give him a little bit of a sprinting distance when he's in his fast phase there. I kind of like that method, actually. Go for the middle safe zone, then go for the right safe zone. Like, that seems to work out well. So, let's not waste the mushroom. Okay. Nope. And let's grab the other one. Okay. There we are. Pretty clean over here, and having the mushroom is going to help considerably for the Lemmy fight, given that we have no replenishment that I can see, but a high risk of getting bumped. Oh, wow. Nice, nice. I kind of like falling into it that way. And you see, now that I'm past 2 fights, now the checkpoint placement seems fine, because I've reached it. So. Yeah. Okay, this is nice. So we'll have to be careful of stunning and fire. I'm honestly more worried about the stunning than about fire. But yeah, if you were worried about checkpoint placement, I really do think that power-ups were probably the right solution to it in this level. Okay, so we eventually want some kind of P-switch timer, right? That allows... oh no, we just need to get close to the thwomp, because the thwomp will hit... And if we hug the wall enough, then the thwomp then descends and hits Morton on the head. Okay, okay. That's pretty straightforward. Okay, so I will definitely not have time to just hug the wall and dodge the fireballs. Okay, go down a little too slowly for that. And yeah, the decorations, as you were saying, do look great, because otherwise a lot of this would be empty space, right? And, yeah, they look quite nice here in terms of just kind of giving you a bit of a spatial guide. Okay, so let's have a go at it again. Yeah. I mean, in spite of failing at this fight a few times, it actually does feel like the spacing is pretty generous. Stunning being one threat, the fire certainly being another. And yeah, it looks like the thwomp cuts through pretty quickly, so... This needs to survive long enough to see it all the way down. Okay, let's survive this. Yeah, straightforward now that I've actually seen it. Okay, no replenishment here, but we have a Mecha Koopa that very conveniently bounced right into us, and... okay, that didn't quite work as intended. Did give me a ding-dong, but probably not what I wished for. Yeah, okay, so that prevents... yeah, the Muncher prevents you from jumping... Although I kind of wonder about Ludwig's hitbox, like whether you can kind of clip him slightly on the left or right or something, but I'm not going to try it. There we go. Ah, okay, the ding-dong comes from Mecha Koopa spawn. Okay, we'll have to walk that back. Where's that jump block? Oh, where did that go? Huh. Thought there was a platform for it to bounce up. Whoops, didn't expect that descent. Yeah, I actually kind of agree now that I've seen the Lemmy fight in particular, because I think, like, checkpoint placement, you know, you want the checkpoint placement to probably be after the thing that feels least reliable or least under the player's control. And in this case, that would probably be the Lemmy fight, just given the slipperiness and the bounciness of it, right? And so it does make sense for that to be the checkpointed fight, because it is the one where the player is likeliest to feel like they're going to be dying to randomness. Or at least their kind of subjective sense of randomness. Yeah, because I think, you know, sometimes when people talk about checkpoint placements, yeah, they do think about pacing, and they do think about, okay, is it going to be after a tricky part or before a boss room or something? And I think often a lot of the fairness in checkpoint placement is actually about whether the setups feel consistent. Like, people don't like repeating stuff that is inconsistent, right? Like, they don't mind repeating things that they can do with a safe pattern, like 100% of the time. But if it feels like it's susceptible to some kind of randomness or chaos or just a lot of variance in the player input, then that stuff they kind of hate repeating. Go back into the Morphin Pipe to get another mushroom? Yeah, I totally see that. That's if you're willing to reset him, of course. Oh, I know, actually, that's after you kill him. Okay, I see. Because you can grab the key and then... Yeah. I mean, we can try that. No, because it's actually a power-up, and a power-up, it disappears on consumption, I'm pretty sure. Oh, I see what happened. Okay, so this is a camera scroll thing, I think, where we... jumped up high enough that it seemed like... I'm just trying to read how the jump block became so far off screen that it failed to activate. Hey, Zephman, welcome back. No problem with lurking. I do appreciate that. Okay, let's try to dodge some of this stuff. Okay. On that pass, I was very grateful for the fact that the fireballs despawn as soon as Morton goes down. And that's true of the Koopaling projectiles generally, is that the moment that they die, all of their projectiles die, which helped me a lot in that particular instant. Okay, jump block is still on screen at this point. I was wondering how the... Oh, no, I see. Because it's the one that walks around, I see, so they don't bounce. It's only the ones that spawn at the bottom level that bounce. I'm gonna have to get rid of this one again. Okay. Yep, above the semi-solid. I absolutely see that now. So it's just the ones that spawn for the first time that bounce up to that level. Yeah, given that this is throwing based against an aerial enemy, I probably want to remain high as often as possible, like on the top left platform, as much as I can. And I can totally do an up throw because, you know, that's what Mecha Koopas were invented to do in the first place. Up throws in boss fights, that's what they are for. That's very true. That is the classic Mecha Koopa usage. It's kind of interesting to think about that Bowser fight in Super Mario World now as kind of a showcase of the things that Super Mario World was uniquely designed to do, right? Like, you have the up throw, you have the kind of variance in the sprite size that you get from Bowser and the clown car, and, you know, that full special effect when he comes off screen, and the cannonball dumps and all that. It was very much like a foundational Super Nintendo fight. It's sort of interesting that the Mecha Koopas are not even introduced until Bowser's Castle. Like, they feel like such a big presence in that game, but you only see them in Bowser's Castle, I think, and not before. So Bowser's Castle pretty much trains you on using them, and then you kind of have the up throw and fight at the very end. Okay, I should pay attention to this fight. You once killed Ludwig with an up throw and then died crushed by the Muncher. Yeah, I can see that happening. Kind of appreciate the warning. I'm probably going to wind up doing that anyway, just watch. In terms of difficulty tuning, I feel like having sort of consistently one mushroom for each fight might have made things a little more manageable. I mean, I know currently you've got, like, technically 3 mushrooms on the Larry fight. That makes it relatively gentle to get through at the end of a, well, or in the middle of a fairly long stretch, but... I mean, it's okay as is. Like, I'm not complaining or anything. But the lack of a mushroom when you get into the Lemmy fight or the Ludwig fight is definitely very noticeable, I think. Like, it would be something that the earlier fights almost condition you to expect. Okay, let's... Okay. That's gonna be a whiff. Don't want to get under his feet. He can stomp us at any given moment, so... Oh, that actually is very interesting in Italian, which, it's a very good name, but it's also kind of, like... gives them a certain humanity that I think is very much the opposite of their mecha nature. There. I mean, it could basically be like, I don't want to spoil Xenoblade for those of you who haven't played it yet, given that the remaster is out very soon, but I was thinking about the sort of nature of the mechas in Xenoblade, and how that kind of works. With the Mecha Koopa naming that we're talking about here. Oh boy, that's a terrible position to be in. Okay. Yeah, it's a very interesting game. The soundtrack is deservedly legendary. It is, however, very, very long. I'm usually a bit of a completionist with a lot of games. I could not do it with that one, so because even the main path in that game is just very, very long. But my goodness, the soundtrack. Like, play it, you know, headphones on, volume up. You'll want to do it that way. One thing to keep in mind, yeah, I'll read that message when I am no longer moving. Sorry, I've just gotta get in close and dodge this a few times. Yeah, I keep forgetting to account for the second fire projectile that actually goes up the wall. I know it's coming, and I keep forgetting to account for it. Throwing to Mecha Koopa destroys his projectiles, yeah. Good spacing tool. I think it's sort of an interesting element of the fight that the reused Mecha Koopas don't bounce up at you, such that if you miss, you do have to retrieve them. Like, it's kind of interesting that way. But Okay, we're nearly through. That's the last fight. And from what you tell me anyway, that's the last fight. And so we're pretty close. Oh. Did not depend too much on safety zone in the middle. I mean, there is kind of a safety zone in the middle depending on how you get the piranhas fire. I feel like I'm probably not using that enough. It makes the dynamic of this fight fairly interesting, though, in that like the safe zone is kind of this middle area here, assuming you don't get hit by Orphan's projectiles, but then the objective is to position yourself all the way to the left. Like, that's kind of an interesting point of tension in a way. There we go. Yeah, that felt like a pretty satisfying victory. Okay, was afraid for a moment I'd just get bounced into that projectile. Oh, we'll have to go fetch that. Oh, over to Muncher. That was fortunate. We haven't gotten one hit on him yet, have we? Okay. Gotta fix this up then. There we go, finally got him. One hit. The scream, very appropriate here. Okay, great, great, great. Incredibly long shell phase. Get bounce on the right side. Grab the Koopa down below here. Okay, this will be third hit, so let's not up throw him in such a way that will... Whoa, didn't expect the quick respawn after the throw. Oh, we are so trapped. Yeah, I saw what was about to happen there, and we were definitely trapped. Yeah, once you get close to him, you can build up a rhythm. Yeah, I can totally see that. I haven't found what that rhythm is, but that's partly because I wasn't watching the timing of the second flame that comes up the ceiling. And there is a very consistent timing to it, like just from the deflection. That is until you clear 3 rows. Once you clear 3 rows, the timing on the second fireball that climbs up is going to be a bit different. There we go. Didn't go. Okay, did not get hit. Let's go on. Okay, let's sit up here. Miss. Okay. Nope. Being a little too risky there. Okay, almost there. Almost there. Oh. Yeah, totally saw we were going to run that stun that time. Whoa! Yeah, in general, I really do like playing boss fights. Because they do show off the kind of contraption-based nature of the game, and a lot of unique things you can do in Mario Maker. And there's one respect in which a lot of Mario Maker creations do outshine the original Mario games, given that, like, classic Mario has never really been boss-oriented. And, but then with Mario Maker, there are just so many possibilities. Okay. Nope. On top of the Muncher. Okay, my spacing is not right. We need to fix that. Oh, no, wanted to do an up throw there and we just missed. Missed. Oh. That kind of gave away a little bit of how the music blocks were actually placed. Oh, okay. That could have gone quite badly. Whoa. Yeah, it is a nice fight. A lot of things can go wrong. Yeah, I do kind of feel like one mushroom would have made a big difference for a little bit, but, you know, whatever difficulty tuning seems to work best. And it is an incentive to play this fight a little bit cleaner. That's very true. But something like an optional mushroom on a track that would, you know, really kind of make you work for it, like something off the top right side or something that encourages a bit of movement. Okay, tipped him with a hit there, finally. Oh, tried to get over him there, and that was a terrible idea. That's fine, we'll live with that. We'll try to do this cleanly for once. I don't think I've survived this with the mushroom even once, so... Okay, take advantage of eliminating the projectile. Okay, same as before. Let's over here. Oh, okay, that was a very satisfying arc that time. Very satisfying arc, in fact. Okay. My goodness, that muncher on his head, though. That really changes things quite a bit. Oh yeah, I did lose it very soon, that's true. Okay. Again. Okay, luckily we have a fairly short queue. Which is nice because it means I'll take my time to finish this and still be able to play everyone else's, but I will actually probably be shutting the queue very soon after this level. Because as I said, I am only going to be going for about another hour. And then I will have some extra sessions for the remainder of this week. Just to make sure I can see some more creations, because, yeah, we've been busy doing a fair bit of making as well lately. I have not been doing it on stream because I always do my making with the touchscreen. Which would have been streamable back on Wii U, but not here. Okay, there we go. Oh! That could have gone badly. And yeah, so every now and then when I seem to do fewer streams than usual, may sometimes be because I'm actually making stuff. Sometimes. I'm kind of notoriously slow when it comes to that. Okay, let's not die to the thing we know about, which is... Oh, missed. Okay. Oh, he's gonna shake awake. There we go. Back up. Trying to hit him with an up throw while we were on the bottom layer so the muncher would actually fall middle. No, that's okay. By easier, like, I did say in the title, like, over 1%, because over 1% is something that I do still expect myself to finish in one segment. So I really don't mind. Because just nothing really grindy today. And you know I'm having fun with it, so... Not a big deal if I'm actually kind of enjoying my time with it, so... Okay, I have to learn how to do a better throwing arc there. Oh. Had to dodge the projectile at the end there, so... Winged Ludwig definitely has quite a challenging flight pattern. This is not the only time I've seen a Ludwig fight designed with him on wings. I've actually seen him on wings fairly often, it seems, among Koopaling levels that I've played. And I can totally see why. But yeah, there are a lot of streamers that do stream making levels, and they've all kind of had to learn how to do it with a controller, and the thing is, like, I don't expect I will do that. Partly because watching me make stuff would be terribly boring anyway, because I tend to replay lots of segments over and over. You know, this replay something about a dozen times and then change one brick. Then replay it another dozen times and change one brick, and like my style of making would not be fun to watch. But yeah, that takes a certain amount of adaptation, particularly for people who have come in from Maker 1. Okay. Okay, this is actually going a bit cleaner. I said, as of course, right as I hit my fire. Alright. Let's sit on top of that. Nope. Miss. The thing is, I don't want the arc to be too high there, because what happens if the arc is too high is... There we go. Oh, no. Oh, I'm gonna be trapped. Yeah, there was no good way to engage there, I think. With both the mecha and with Ludwig trapped there, unless something bounced or killed the mecha. Had a bit of a tough corner there, but... Okay, let's try to do this a bit more cleanly. I feel like we're steadily getting better at it. I'm not really even worried about the Morden fight. I am taking a hit every time, but passing it is not really the obstacle. And yeah, like you said, you do get into a certain rhythm when you see it a few times. Okay. Bump. Yeah, that's the issue, is that you have the arc coming in from above, and that's what happens. And nope. I'm gonna have to let that one wake up. Oh, whoops, I was trying to jump on top of it that time because I knew it was about to wake up. And I just missed. And picked it up by mistake. Let's give this another go. Okay, let's move in. Oh, are we actually going to make it out with the mushroom? Yes, we are. Okay, that's going to help considerably. I feel like I might actually pass this fight now if we don't lose this right away. And look at that. One hit. This is feeling pretty good. 2 hits. Great, 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 great. Look at that. I'm going to get out of here because he's going to jump up and probably hit me with the muncher. Just hang on. There we are. Okay, look at that muncher. Yeah, as soon as I made it through there with the mushroom, everything fell into place. Very quickly. I'm not making any kind of speed record, so let's take our time just to pop everything. Like squeezing a squeezy ball at the end of the level, you know, and it's a bit of a stress relief. Just punch everyone up, grab every coin. Have a whole bunch of Goom Rats here as decoration, and then a whole bunch of power-ups that we will not get to carry forward to anything meaningful. There we are, GG. Well, thank you very much for that. I'm glad we made it through. But yeah, actually, going into the Ludwig fight with a mushroom makes it substantially easier, just because it is, you know, a bullet hellish fight. Made a huge difference. Okay, smokestack. Actually, are we empty after this? Oh no, we've got prop gun. Okay. Great, since we're short right now, I'm not going to close up just yet. I'll take a look at smokestack's profile. And we will go over to Bullet Circus. Okay. Great, I think I had noticed that level before, probably as an earlier submission. Yeah, we are still open. I'll be going, like I said, for about another hour, so we'll hopefully get through some things fairly quickly. 14%, fantastic. Grab all the gold that you can carry in this bonus stage. The King 123444, thank you for your submission of The King, which I suppose must be your maker code. It's kind of funny because when I was first playing with the 3D World hats on day 1 of the patch, of course I'm going to try to do this. Like, the first 2 things I played with were the Goomba and the Bullet Hat. And specifically, like, I was working with the Bullet Hat in the circus theme because, you know, you're doing so much aerial stuff anyway. Oh, but I see, yeah, Magic Koopas. Guess that'll be the way to grab everything to the left, unless there's a drop later on. There will be a drop, whoops. It's okay, losing a cat is not actually a big deal, because we can all jump up. Or even just... Oh, thank you very much, Room Koopa. That makes my life simpler. And thank you for that takeout, Bonsai. That also makes my life simpler. Will this be a cat? Yes, it will. On, off. Okay. Interesting. Okay, so it looks like this will be a passage that we hit the on-off switch and we grab the coin here. Now, the thing about on-off is I think we'd need to reactivate anyway to get... Oh no, not yet. I'll reactivate it just for kicks. Oops. It's been a while since I played a cat level. I have to readjust to some of the cat logic. I do love the cat mechanics, though. It's just that like, some of the advanced cat mechanics are obscure enough that it's very difficult to build around them as an expectation. Okay, so we have lost power-ups. I see. So, I see. It's bullet controlled on the left side. Whoops. On-off switch from the bullets. We'll just have to keep an eye on that switch. And indeed, I feel like sneaking in this way is probably not the right idea. Oh. Watch the timing here. Okay, just gotta watch the bullets. But, like a bit of a tight wall jump spacing, even if the on-off switch is not going on. But we'll... you know what? Why don't I just climb the fence? Why am I not climbing the fence? Very silly. I'm a cat. Press F in chat for the cat. Oops. Okay. There we go. Oh, you got Magic Koopa fight. Okay. Climb around a bit with the cat. Whoops. It's fine. Got the key. We'll move on to the next segment. Grab the final coin. Now I hope you don't have a safety coin issue here, and that, like... Okay, great. Perfect, perfect. I tried Dragon Quest XI. I have been told a lot about Dragon Quest XI, and it seems like my kind of thing. Except for the fact that it is also supposedly 100 hours long. I feel like I want to play it eventually, because I do like classic turn-based JRPGs, and I've been told that that would be exactly my thing. But particularly since I started streaming Mario Maker, my available time for long games has not been great. But thank you for that recommendation. And thank you to Hyperion for that level. But yeah, there is kind of a... I mean, I love long games, I just feel like I have a gigantic backlog at this point. So I'll have one more route to do in Fire Emblem. That's going to be 100 hours. I have a lot of stuff that I've just kind of written off as things I will not be able to do. Too bad. Colorful castle, maybe not that colorful. I see two colors, red and yellow, but all your friends are there. So you have a 30-second record on this. And yeah, about 5 clears for 14 players, so just something that you experience. Okay. Oh, I should have reclaimed that, right? And thrown it, maybe? Okay, no. And I should not have let the Koopa sink. I should have gone quickly. Yeah, I totally need to grab that. Yeah, I have played Octopath. I actually did not play... I did not finish Octopath. I liked Octopath a lot, and I just got distracted by something. No. Can't reclaim it. I liked it a lot. It's just that it was interrupted by something, and I just never got back into it. And I was so far along that I think I would probably have to restart if I wanted to replay it, because I just don't remember what I was doing in terms of the character builds. Yeah, played that, played, whoops, the Bravely Default games, well, the first one. Don't know if I'll have time for the third one, which is called the second one. Oh, okay. Yeah, I should have seen that. I just did not expect to nudge to the right side like that, and then jump on a cannonball, and then I'm through, yeah. But yeah, turn-based battle systems, fantastic. Very much my kind of thing. Nope. Cannonball, right? Or can I run this? I can run this. If I maintained momentum, I could run this. I can't do it from a standing position. Okay. Gotta keep in mind that this level is designed for going fast, as we could tell from the 30-second execution time. Okay. There we go. And this will be a shell reclaim. Miss. The indication is fine. I was just not paying attention. I think it's fine. It's actually very clear to me when I see a double shell stack like that I should be thinking about the reclaim. Whoops, that was my mistake. I wanted to throw it on the right side. I don't trap myself. I'm probably not supposed to grab that, am I? Yes I am, because I want to hit both switches. Hit that, grab another shell, hit another one. Okay, yeah. Got it. And the checkpoint placement is actually quite good coming into this part here. Great. Yeah, no, it's great. I mean, I guess the final bit with the like blocks, I should have taken a proper look at that. Yeah, colorful castle. So it's kind of funny that in the previous screen you have red and yellow, and ultimately the key blocks are just markers as they've always been. Hey, we have win on that. Thank you as always, Promptman. And let's head on to the king. You're next. So if this is your maker code, let me know what you want me to play. Whether it's my choice or if you're submitting a world or anything else. And can I play Plumber Mario? Okay. We'll look at Plumber Mario. Let me just look at the clear rate so I can just kind of determine if I want to close yet. 15%. No need to close. No idea for a thumbnail? Yeah, that's fine. The concept was very clear. Yeah, so we're going to be going for probably another 45 minutes or so. I believe the queue is empty, so if people have a second submission, you are welcome to do so. I usually just tend to close up fairly early just because I want to guarantee that I get through everybody who does queue. But in the meantime, we will look at Plumber Mario. Yeah, thank you, Hyperion Smokestack, for that submission. We're going to enter this pipe, and we're going to plumb the depths. So, I actually have played a level with this concept before, and I got the speed record on it because I figured out the method. Which is to roll my fingers on Y and X. Then get through it really quickly that way. Not worry too much about the auto-scroll. It's not quite optimal. Oh, notice that little spot on the right. Okay, no, that's nothing. That's just one tile as a notch. Yeah. Now, of course, we can always just do the maze as well if we lose. No, we can't because you have solid lines like that one. Okay, that's fine. We'll just need to be a little better about dodging. So yeah, the way I'm doing it is I have my index finger on Y and I have my middle finger on X. And then that's how you do these kind of like spammy levels. Whoops, I gotta die. That's how you do them without as much of a risk of strain injury, and that's how you do them quickly. It is a piano playing technique, so how whoops, you do like fast repeated notes. And it turns out it works very well with video games like this, and well enough that I'm actually almost outpacing the autoscroll. Just have to be a little bit more careful about dodging. And we can be careful about dodging because we actually have leeway to do so. Okay. Nope. Should have watched out for how they bump each other there. Let's restart. But yeah, just pressing one button over and over again with your thumb, not recommended. I should have watched out for stuff like that, though. When I pluck in such a pattern that allows the Koopas or Goombas fall on my head. That was probably not a great idea. That was also not a great idea. I saw that coming. I want to be behind them relative to where they are walking. Relative to their direction, and I want to be careful when they bump each other. Okay. And for drops like that, I want to get out of the way. There we go. Whoop. That's exactly what I was talking about. Okay. Probably not going to get a speed record since we... Well, I mean, it's constrained by auto-scroll to begin with, but also we made a few errors and corrections while higher up, so here we go. Okay, so this is going to be a bullet segment. I have to pluck it at some point? No. So, Muds 512, I don't know if you remember, but when the DS originally came out, it came out with an attachable thumb strap. And the attachable thumb strap, like the idea would be that you loop it around a DS, and you put your thumb in it, and it would be positioned in such a way that you can use the touchscreen as a touchpad. And basically that's how both the 64 DS remake as well as Metroid Prime Hunters were balanced. Like they were thinking that you would use the thumb pad just using the strap attachment. But like when you go back to it now, if you're playing, you know, 64 DS and attempting to use the D-pad, no, not a good idea. Super Riga 2004, thank you for the submission, and I see I did in fact get a world record. I've actually been thinking of revisiting 64DS on the 3DS because apparently it works quite well with the 3DS Circle Pad. But, you know, like there's that prevailing rumor that we might be in for a 64 port or remake later this year anyway, so... I actually never played the full version of Prime Hunters, I just played the demo cart that was there back in the day. Anyway, Super Riga 2004, thank you for Pit of Despair Kaizo. We will hopefully be able to get through it, but today is a bit of a shorter stream, so I may not be able to spend that much time grinding away at more difficult content. I will look at it. I may not spend as long with it as I usually do. Okay, so let's get back to Hyperion's Code. And yeah, thank you once again, the King, for handing me that world record. It was not a very precise world record. It can be easily bettered. But I will hold it in the meantime. Dealer's choice, okay. So, Mole Kings and Discovery. 2 clears. Kind of a medium length, 6%. Yeah, let's do it. I mean, we've made a bit of a gap there in our completions, so let's finish that up. Yeah, Muds 512, I actually missed The World Ends With You, and I was thinking of picking up the Switch port, although I know the Switch port, having only one screen works quite a bit differently from the original game. Because I do know that it was originally designed around having like one character on each screen and fighting with them simultaneously or something, and so I actually have no idea how that would work. Either with the Switch touchscreen or a controller, and of course, if I were to play that on stream, I would not be able to use touch controls, and so that might be a game that isn't a good choice for that. But yeah, it's definitely one that I missed out in the day because I was kind of out of touch with the DS around 2009 when it came out. Like, I think I wasn't really playing anything on it anymore other than probably Spirit Tracks. My DS went quite neglected. So yeah, I missed a lot of the kind of late era DS content. Yeah, this is kind of interesting so far. Actually, yeah, kind of like this here with the moles peeking out with the bullets over their heads. I mean, for something that's more of a traditionally oriented level, it definitely feels kind of tightly spaced. That's okay, that's just the tuning you have, right? Looks like we will need to bomb our way down. Let's do that. Probably missed all kinds of content that was possible with the squirrel suit. Switch port works with either touch controls or playing with motion controls. Okay. I don't mind motion drawing. I found that Okami HD is actually a fantastic port because it lets you use both motion and touch at once, and it almost feels like that was the way that game was originally designed, because like the whole concept was around drawing with canvas to begin with, right? And the way they had it working with motion controls on a Wii was excellent, except for the fact that the Wii controller just didn't have enough buttons to make the combat system work that smoothly. Like, it was kind of missing a main button, and so they assigned the main attack to switching, or rather, like, waving the Wiimote. And that is no longer a problem with the Switch version. Like, you play Okami on Switch, you can just kind of prop up the what is it? Prop up the Switch on a stand for tabletop, and then you can play with like touch and motion and buttons at the same time, and it actually feels wonderful. Okay, I've not been paying attention to pink coins at all, probably because I lost the squirrel so early first time around. Okay, I should really be paying more attention to the bonus content, but whoa, got trapped. Whoops.
Oh no!
I actually didn't finish it on the HD port simply because, once again, it is a long game, but I did play the whole thing originally back on the Wii. Like, I didn't have it on PS2, but I did play the Wii port. It's just that, like, there are certain weapons that you can't really use with the Wii controls, just because the main attack doesn't work well, but the motion was great. Couldn't imagine trying to play that game with sticks alone, you know, in terms of how long it would take to draw shapes like the bombs. But yeah, I still have my backer copy of Wonderful 101 coming eventually, like it was delayed due to coronavirus. Originally, it was supposed to have come out by now, and of course the digital piece is already out. But that will be kind of interesting because, like, on the Wii U originally, I played it with kind of combination stick and drawing controls, and now you just kind of play exclusively with a stick, which is kind of what expert players recommend anyhow. Although I think there is some kind of touch support for it for handheld. Not really clear on that, though. Anthony, it's alright. We are running a fairly short program today, so the queue will be closing fairly soon, and I will hopefully get through everybody's, but well, we'll see. So, Origami King, looking forward to it. I am not as much of... I mean, like, I love The Thousand Year Door, and I love it to bits. It is maybe my favorite JRPG, but I'm not as much of a Paper Mario purist as some people tend to be. Like, I mean, there were definitely some issues with the last two games, but I felt like Color Splash was actually underrated, and in that, like, it actually had a very good kind of overworld Paper Mario experience, which a lot of people, I think, didn't really see or recognize. Really excited for Origami King. I will probably stream it, because it seems like one that would be very friendly to that. If people are okay with me taking a bit of an extended break from viewer levels once we get into July. I don't really tend to stream a lot of stuff other than Mario Maker because, like, for a stream that is fairly small, you know, it's, I think, much more fun to have a game that is a bit of a social experience like viewer levels. But I love Paper Mario to death, so that must be considered in the equation.
Oh no!
Oh, the only one you've played is Super Paper Mario. Okay, that's interesting, actually. That's an interesting place to start. I like Super Paper Mario a lot. I also played that back when it originally launched. I thought the sort of platforming element of Super Paper Mario was maybe like a... I mean, it's really not a platforming game, right? Like, and I think I was originally expecting a bit of a smoother experience in that respect, because, you know, mechanically you can tell it feels like maybe a little bit gluey, but that's not really the point of Super Paper Mario, and once I made my peace with that, I had a great time with it. Super Paper Mario's great legacy, of course, being all the people who complain on message boards about games they've never played. Okay, so here's the mecha fight. Let's grab the squirrel. That'll be... yes, we're doing it. We're doing it. Because, of course, we will. Feels like I probably missed a pink coin already. I had a lot of trouble in the first segment. I like the spacing of this segment quite a bit more than the first one already, actually. I mean, the first section was fine, but I think some of the hard block placements could feel a bit claustrophobic. But here, yeah, this is good. Ah, here's coin 4, so depending on whether we have a safety coin ahead of us, that will tell us whether we had a complete run. Okay, here's a mole. I feel like I've probably been missing some kind of story element to these moles in terms of them rolling the bullets and then now driving the Mecha Koopa. Clearly driving the Mecha Koopa. Now, here's the thing about the Spiny hitbox, is that because the Spiny is something that you will clip through if you take a damage boost, it means that you get stuff like this, where... Yeah, I've infiltrated Mole Fortress. It means... Where was I supposed to go? Did I wreck some kind of setup here? I think I might have wrecked something that was supposed to be triggered by things falling. Oh, I needed a laser. Yeah. That's obviously what I needed. No, because like what I was sort of in the middle of... Oh, and it's going to be a key death too, I think. Was there a checkpoint? I don't know.
Oh no!
If there was a midpoint, it was definitely a key death. Yeah, it's key death. So first of all, yeah, pink coins on either side of a checkpoint. You want a safety coin. If they're all in one section that's between checkpoints, not a big deal. When you have pink coins straddling over a checkpoint. Unless, yeah, no, that's something that you'd want to take care of. The one last safety coin over the last door. We missed the squirrel completely. But yeah, it's funny because I was just kind of testing that out and saying, oh, okay, you know what? If you clip through the Spiny with a damage boost, you can totally kill everything in that stack. And I thought, okay, let's go ahead and try it. And you see what happened from there. There's a mushroom. Whoops.
Oh no!
Yeah, I know the key is optional, but, you know, I think key death never quite feels great. Because like, you know, if you die at 4 coins, you can still respawn at a checkpoint and complete it. And you die at 5 coins, you can't. Like, it kind of feels like you're being punished often. That's... It's a slightly different issue from creating pink coin setups that are based around rewarding the player for doing everything in one run without a checkpoint. Like, that's something that you can do and set up nicely and still avoid key death. Okay, so we'll just have to be careful not to damage boost through Spiny like we did here. And we'll just let that zap us. Yeah, Propin, thank you for joining us today. Okay, so we need it to zap in a very precise location. Oh, whoops. Okay, not a totally precise location. Maybe that's just for a bonus, like letting it zap on off. Let's just stand a little bit out of range. Let's activate it a little earlier as it comes down. Okay, tap that. Through we go. And yeah, so it was just for true ending anyway. So
Oh yeah, Mario time.
right, that is the Mole King with the Spiny as his crown. That's not the first level I've seen from you, I think, where you used a Spiny as a crown. I feel like that's a very familiar visual idea. But yeah, the Mole King discovered something big. Big and happy. GG. Okay, we got 2 in the queue. I'm going to... actually, I think, Anthony, the person in front of you might have ditched anyway. I don't know if Super Riga 2004 actually stayed, but Twitch says no. So I'm going to look at the... well, we'll do a first call for that first. It's very likely, though, Anthony, your submission will be next. I will look at a clear rate. It is likely I'll close up after that, so any of you with one last submission now would likely be the time. But I'll see if Super Riga 2004 actually checks in. I think they tried to drop us a Kaizo code anyway, and you know, today we don't have time to really do that properly, so... Overall story to the map is that Larry's castle manufactures Mecha Koopas, and they've disrupted the balance of power and polluted the area. Yeah, they certainly have. Okay, so... Seems like that's a no, so Super Riga 2004, if you do not check in, I will... Okay, so we'll just look at the clear rate from Anthony, and then I'll kind of make my decision about the queue from there. We may be able to take 1 or 2 more after this. I see, so it is part of a story sequence. See how it works. Getting over it with a mushroom, okay. 8% or so? Okay, that's fine. We can probably take some more after this, although as a getting over it level, I'm guessing that some of the high clear rate may be from people just kind of falling to a soft reset, or restart point rather. Retry point. But it looks like we'll have some SMB2. Oh, getting over it with a mushroom. Okay, maybe it's a mushroom control level. That would be interesting. Yeah, not closing up quite yet, but this is the last one in the queue currently. So I may be able to take 1 or 2 more if people have one. We'll see how this goes. Okay, yeah, it is a scroll lock mushroom control level. Yeah. Now, I see. It's gonna be a claw drop. No, missed jump. Okay. Jump. Yeah, I just have to... I'm still thinking about Mario's positioning and not really thinking relative to the mushroom, and I should be thinking in terms of mushroom control. Okay, let's let that down. Okay. There we go. Oops. Yep, it's all about the timing. I actually want to fall in nice and deep on the first jump block, because that's what will give me enough position here. Yeah, there we go. Here we are. And that's going to break the scroll lock. Great. You know... Whoa, poison mushroom there. Oh, I see. So I'm going to do the piranha plant then, I guess. Don't know what... It seemed like I died to poison there. Let's just watch that again. I was still busy reading the rest of the screen. Oh, I see. Okay, so no, that tells you need to dodge the jump block. That's why the piranha track is placed there. It's telling you you need to dodge it completely, or the poison mushroom will spawn. Right, I get it. Yeah, pretty interesting use of this concept so far. I was about to say, like, it would be a terrible way to go if you just decided, I refuse to jump, I'm going to wait for the P-switch timer to expire, and then I will soft-lock myself and die. We're not going to do that. No. Poison. So yeah, I occasionally will just kind of play against the design like that, but no, we know how it works. And we know what we are supposed to do. Let's take this forward. Bounce, bounce. Actually quite satisfying once you can get that down somewhat reliably. Okay, let's... Yeah, we need to drop it a little further in. Jumping too soon here. There we go. So hard to test due to the auto-scroll, it never went high enough. Huh, interesting. Yeah, because I guess in order to test a level like this, like, it's heavily dependent on your spawn position, right? Like, that your spawn position was set the initial camera height when you're going into segment. Although we are still starting from main world. Yeah, I guess you would have to pretty much replay from the start to test a given segment. Okay, mushroom is dead, and then so what happens if the mushroom is dead? I mean, if the mushroom is dead, we just have to restart, right? Assume so. Okay. Alright, so we'll just have to be a bit more careful about that. And drop that. Oops. Okay. And try to get a better jump timing on this. Whoops. Yes. Okay. Let's get back over. And there we are. Now it looks like I was hit by the bomb explosion that time. Probably because I was still falling from the jump. But yeah, I can see this being a bit of a testing challenge for sure. Hey, Thomas B, welcome. Thomas B, we're not going to be running for that much longer. We might have time for one level after this one, but had a bit of a late start in the rescheduling today, so I will be doing a few additional streams, hopefully later in the week to kind of make up for some of the missed ones, but yeah, good to see you back. Whoops, that's a death from poison. Yeah, thank you for coming by, and thank you for showing me several levels today. Hyperion. So yeah, Thomas B, hope you're doing well. I don't know if you've had a chance to see the Champions Road clear video. But we managed to get it. I think I might have told you that last time, in fact. It took a while, but we made it. Okay, that's interesting. So we just need to... oh. I see. Ride on top of the thwomp and then jump to the highest level. And then dodge the muncher so it doesn't get crushed, and then drop on a jump block. Okay. Yeah, Thomas B, I did beat it. It was in one of the backlog nights, and so if you go through the streams that are marked backlog bonanza in my videos, like it's the last one in one of those videos. Might have to browse around a little bit for it. I don't remember the exact date, but yeah, I totally did beat it. It took about an hour and a half, but I did work out a pretty decent method for some of those things. Whoops. There we go. Okay, we have down segment. There we go. Down a pipe. Hey, Zero de Nova. We're going to be closing up pretty soon, unfortunately, so might have time for one level after this, but probably not much more than that. I mean, I will, like, it is still open, technically, but if people want to send me things, probably nothing too difficult for this stream, simply because we won't have too much time to work on that just yet. Now, I can see as a matter of camera positioning, yeah, okay, so you do have a checkpoint here. Now, what is this thing trying to tell me with the piranha plant? That seems like it's signaling something, apart from telling me to go through the pipe. Okay. Okay, so we want to probably run the mushroom over to drop something that kills Bowser, and then we run back to the left to hit the key. But the camera remains at this level, so we have access to seeing Mario, so we don't run into the spike. Okay, I see. Oh. And we have multiple chances to retry, so it doesn't get crushed, which is nice. I should probably not just spam the jump. I should play the level properly. Oh, and you cannot let it spawn poison mushrooms by hitting the jump blocks at the lower level. Okay. Yeah, I assume that is some kind of muncher crush on Bowser at the very close. You're trying to unlock all the outfits. Okay, well, good luck on the crown. I actually seem to know a surprising number of people with the crown from the, you know, medal leaderboard for maker points, but that seems very difficult to achieve without something explosively popular. Nope, the crush nearly made it. Nope. Wait for another one. There we go. Whoa, let's not run into the fire bar, he says as he runs into the fire bar. Yeah, thank you for Morton's Firefest. Firefest, I would guess, in. Yeah. Like German, I'm guessing? Okay, so let's see here. Let's not choke at a fire bar this time. We at least have a decent pattern for reading this. Okay, there we go. Dodge the fire bar, and then we make our way safely out. And let's not die to Bowser Fire on this side. And grab the flag. So. Yeah, very nice spin on the playable mushroom concept. So we got over it. Okay, Zero to Nova. Yay. 1, 3, 422. And VF. Okay. Morton's Führerfest. Morton brings to fire when realizes that we're in his well, in his house, I guess, in his place. That may or may not be accurate. So we have 7 out of 29, about 24% clear. Okay, so we'll see how well we're getting through it. Maybe we have time for one more after this. But let's fight the battle. Okay, key door up front, which tells me we should grab a key and then come back through the pipe. Yeah. Okay, it's going to be probably a single boss battle then. Oh, whoops. We don't want to do that. This resets the whole thing. And indeed, you can see that if the ice blocks do despawn, they stay despawn because that's how blocks work. Notice how he does a little bit of a backspin there where he kind of goes off center. So I can tell you right now, there is a bit of a way to cheese this. I can show it to you after I'm finished, I guess. Oh wow, look at that double pattern there. There was no dodging that. I'm going to show you the cheesy kill. Because first of all, I see that this spawns mushrooms, and so if you get hit, you can actually just pop out and continue. I don't know if that's by design, it might be intentional. But basically, if I take one hit, I actually want to pop back out, and my progress is saved. But let's actually dodge this properly. Yeah, if I take one hit, let's let Morton stop. No, let's not. Let's head out. Grab the mushroom. And yeah, so I don't know if you necessarily wanted it to be easy like that, but given that there are certain fire patterns that might be undodgeable depending on how the fireballs spawn, that actually seems fair. Yeah, let's see him do another stop. Just gonna pop back and pop back down. That continues to fight. I also don't know, given that Morton does a bit of a back step, I think he does stay on the platform, like he's never gonna jump off. But I have to think about that. Yeah, okay, so we just kind of circle around up top. That would be the way to dodge that double pattern. And it's only an issue with the fireballs that are launched from the stomp. You dodge that one, circle around. Okay, now we have the safe method for it. And then next, I'm gonna go down. Just a key, and we are through this part. I don't know if there will be a part 2, but high clear rate. Not really sure. Yeah, that's it. Anthony, we just beat yours right before this one. We absolutely did play it. You'll need to scroll a little bit earlier in the video. We probably have time for one more. Possibly two, depending on how easy they are to clear, so. Opposite of opposite day. Okay, well, I'm going to take a look at the clear rate on this one, and then I will determine whether to close up from there. 6L8, and thank you for dropping by, Quaz. Always nice to see somebody from the Name Starts with Q Club. 5NG. Opposite of opposite day. Night equals bad, day equals good, 14%. So, I am going to close submissions from here. If I get through this very quickly, which I might, because it's 15%-ish, we'll see if we have time for anything after that. But thank you for the follows. And, oh, sorry, Zero, actually, Zero, yeah, I'll let you add that one. Let me just, Did I not mark that a win? Yeah, I need to mark that as a win, sorry. Or... No, in fact, I need to clear that properly from the queue. I just... Sorry, just need to do a bit of queue management here, and then Zero, you can try to resubmit that after I fix it. Yeah, okay. Let me mark a win. Alright. You need to wait just 1 second. Yeah, Lemmy's Mean Machine. There we go. And I'm gonna close. So yeah, it'll be Quaz, it'll be Zero, and then we'll see how we're doing for time, but I will probably have to end there. We will hopefully run some additional sessions between now and the end of the week. Let me just edit my stream title accordingly. To reflect that we are closed. Update my bot as well. And we will play Opposite of Opposite Day. Okay, oh yeah, opposite. You know what? I'm going to... I mean, this is going to be something bad, but yeah, we'll try it. So night is opposite. Okay, so we need to do this because we want to do the bad thing. And we want to do the unguided thing here. Okay, great. Pretty straightforward. We want to do this because it will activate something automatic. Great. But there are... Okay, no, I see. So green is supposed to be good and red is supposed to be bad, right? So we'll take the one that is odd one out. Or, oh, okay, no. I was thinking about it in terms of color signaling and not in terms of this is the special pipe and therefore it is the exit. Okay, now we know. Reverse psychology. Yeah. It's kind of interesting that if you pick the correct kind of answer, you pretty much can't die. Like, it affects you completely. Alright, so both green pipes point to the same destination in daytime. So daytime, according to opposite of opposite day, is intuitive once again, so we will get another yay. We'll actually follow instructions for once, which we are sometimes quite bad at doing. We're along, and yeah, that is the path we want. Now, will we have another nighttime segment? See soon enough. Yes, we will. So we take the special pipe, and here we are, nighttime once again. No. I was trying to wall jump back up. I did read that correctly, I just kind of slid right into it. Well, given that we are starting from the beginning, let's try to do this quickly. Nope, no. Oh, I see, so it locks you in anyway, so you can't just make a mistake there and recover when it starts buzzing at you to tell you that you are about to fall to your doom. Okay. Okay, there we go. Oh, to guess randomly, okay. I don't know, I thought it was very clear from the first screen, like even if I did have to read the description, but or I might not have adjusted to how it works in daytime. But I thought it was very clear. Like, I mean, if you don't know the concept by now, like, don't know if you're going to learn things like this very quickly, but... Because I was originally going to say, you know, I was beginning to think by this point in the level, yeah, the concept's really clear, I get it, I get it, I get it. Then you just kind of execute the one thing. But if people really do have that much trouble with it, and opposite. As I said, if people really do have as much trouble with it as I demonstrated just now, with that little night and day brain fart, then yeah, I guess the level actually is just as long and repeated as it needs to be in order to drill that concept in their heads and give them plenty of opportunities to mess up, which, as you can see, still happens even once you understand what's going on. Okay. Yeah, because kind of quickly swapping mentalities here, you know, even if you do know what to do, it is something that you can mess up, just because your way of thinking about the level does have a certain inertia from room to room. So swapping quickly does present its own challenge. Okay, opposites. Let's actually do this properly. And then let's see, this is new territory. This is nighttime, so we... Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, because it's opposite, we don't need to fight him. But it's opposite, yeah. I don't really get what that clue is. But, oh. A little behind the record from just not falling. Yeah, I'm not really sure about the Boom Boom and Goomba interaction at the end, but... Because Boom Boom, like, the opposite is that you don't kill Boom Boom. The Goomba, though, not really sure. So yeah, not a tight record. It is the world record, but it's not a tight record, just given that we did not fall accurately on a flag. So those of you who want to take a run at it, that is very clearly up for grabs. Mark that as a win, and we will finish with a new submission from Zero de Nova. Yeah, I kind of see that, like, it's kind of like the last room with the Goomba is the opposite of the previous room, where it's like, you know, you'll have one room that trains you not to fight the enemy, and then one room trains you to do it. I don't know. I do kind of see what you're going for, though. So, thank you for that. Very fortunate of you to kind of catch me right before closing today, and so hopefully we will see more of you around. So let's take a look at Zero's last submission. That's going to be QL6. CH. 0LF. Okay, Lemmy's Mean Machine. Yeah, I guess it would be a reference to Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine, as they localized Puyo Puyo in the West. I would be very surprised if you actually managed to implement like a Puyo Puyo style fight. Instead, I'm just expecting a lot of Lemmy's balls to act as mean beans. The tradition of Eggmen that are bosses. Well, no, not really. Yeah, I know. I don't know if you've played Sonic Mania, where Sonic Mania does in fact have a Puyo Puyo boss. This is, I'm sure, kind of a delight to people who are serious Sega players. I was never a serious Sega player, but that was something I did pick up on. A bit of a treat for people who are into that series. Okay, let's actually try to hit this. It's a lot tougher than it looks. Okay, there we go. So, that's going to send him into Arena. We have phase 2 of a multi-phase fight. Yeah. Okay, so two-phase design. Yeah, I find that pretty interesting, actually. Anthony, this will probably be our last attempt at anything because this is the last level. So unfortunately, I have to refund that request because we are actually done. So, Anthony, I'm going to refund those points for you, and the next time you drop in, be sure to remember to file that if you want to see me play as Toad, because I have that kick in on the next attempt or death. But that's fine. I'll just make sure you get those points back so you can try that again the next time I stream. But we do, unfortunately, need to call it. This is a much shorter session than I usually run, because we ran for about 2 hours. I usually do longer sessions than that for those of you who have been here before, or those who are new. And that's because we had a bit of a late start time today, because it was having one of my levels tested on stream. So we had a bit of a scheduling conflict. So that will be the last one to run today, but we will hopefully be back for more over the course of the week, so thank you for those of you who followed. And usually I will pass you on to somebody who is also doing viewer levels, and so you can send them some codes as well. I am just going to take a moment to browse around to see who we will be rating, so do stick around and I'll try to pass you on to somebody interesting. And besides that, that will be all from me for this session. Thank you once again for all the submissions today and for the follows. And good evening, or good night, wherever you are.